Hello and welcome to today's video. Now today I've got some Blu-ray 3D titles here that I just picked up recently that I'd like to show you. But first of all, I'd just like to say that I think it's an absolute travesty. It's an absolute travesty that the TV manufacturers appear to have completely stopped making 3D TVs. I'm not 100% sure if this is totally accurate, but that's what I've heard anyway. Like a few people it was on Amazon on the customer reviews and stuff said it about the TVs they've stopped making them and stuff. So if this is true, really is bad news indeed. I know you can still get the projectors with 3D on. I've got at least I think three projectors that do 3D. But I always think that the 3D looks better on the television, for some reason. I was never too impressed with although one of my projectors, the 3D did look especially good. But the one I'm using at the minute, it doesn't look quite as good in my opinion. But I've only tried one film on it in 3D so far anyway. But it really is terrible, I think, that they've stopped, if they have truly stopped making 3D televisions. Because you can still buy the films in the 3D discs and everything. So I presume there's less of them being made now, because they are going to phase it out apparently. But James Cameron, the film director, is apparently trying to revive 3D and bring it back big style. I hope he's successful, to be honest. Anyway, let's get on with these 3D titles that I've got recently. And the first one is a film starring Tom Huddleston, Samuel L. Jackson, John Goodman, Brie Larson, and John C. Reilly. And this one's called Kong Skull Island. Now, I haven't watched this in 3D yet. I look forward to that when I get around to watching it in 3D. But yeah, I have seen the film, and the film's very good. It's got a great action sequence. One particular sequence that stands out is a scene where the planes are all flying around Kong in the jungle, and he's like swiping them out the sky, punching them and all sorts, and the whole hell's breaking loose type of thing. That was really good, well done scene. It's very impressive. I should imagine that looked pretty good in 3D. And the back cover on this one's nothing to write home about, to be honest. It's got another one of those digital copy ultraviolet code banners across the back. I don't like those things, as you probably know. There's a few pictures on the back at the top, but nothing to write home about, nothing too special. So that's the first one. I got this one for I think it was just over £5 off eBay, so that wasn't a bad price for this one, to be honest. So that's Kong Skull Island Blu-ray 3D, and this is it's a Warner Brothers title, by the way, in case you were wondering. And the next one is a sort of romantic drama stroke dance movie, and I've got all the previous films to this one, so I thought I'd pick this one up as well. And this one is this one, which is Step Up 5 All In Blu-ray 3D. Now, I haven't watched this film either yet. I haven't even seen it in 2D, never mind 3D. But I look forward to watching this one as well in 3D. I should imagine it'll be pretty impressive in 3D. I should imagine. As you can see, it's got a very nice cover on it. That's a photograph, I believe. I don't think it's a painting. Yeah, I think it's photography. Might have been photoshopped and everything. Yeah, I think it has. The background's probably been added in and everything. But it's a nice cover, nevertheless. And this has got another ultraviolet thing on the back. Unfortunately, this one's bigger than the last one. That's even worse. But shouldn't see too many more of those in the future, because they're phasing out the ultraviolet digital copy things. Thank God. I don't know if they've stopped them yet, but they are going to be stopping them. Might have already stopped them for all I know. I'm not sure when it stops. But anyway, that's Step Up 5, All In. And this is a Universal title. Next one I have here is the latest Jurassic Park movie. Jurassic World, rather. And this one's called Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, which also stars Chris Pratt. And I forget the name of the girl that's in it. I think it's Bryce Dallas Howard or someone. I might be wrong. Let's have a look. Hang on a minute. And Jeff Goldblum features in it as well. Anyway, it's a bit small and squashed up. It's hard to read. So I can't remember. I think it might be Bryce Dallas Howard or someone like that anyway. I've watched this film, but I haven't watched it in 3D. I've only seen it in 2D. I thought it was really good. A lot of people don't like this film for some reason. But I was impressed with it. And there's a really sad scene. This might be spoiling it a bit if you haven't seen it. There's a really sad scene where they're all leaving the island because the island's on, it's like going up in volcanoes going off and everything. The island's self-destructing. And some of the dinosaurs are still left on the island. Like there's these big ones with the long necks, the really slow moving ones. I forget what they're called. Anyway, they're still on the island, and they're all gonna die because the volcanoes and the fires and everything. It's all gonna kill them, So that was a sad scene in that film. It sticks out in my mind from the last time I watched it. So I'll just show you the back cover of this one, and it's also got one of them digital download things on the back, unfortunately. But it's got some 3 nice pictures there on the back. It's got special features as well. I'm not going to read them all out or anything because I can hardly say them for one thing, but the video will go on too long if I read all them out. So that's Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom in 3D. And this is also a Universal title. Next one I have, all the ones that I've got next are not movies, but documentaries, like wildlife documentaries and stuff. And the first one I've got here is the one I just watched last night, and I thought was pretty good, although the photography was a bit mixed. The quality changes throughout. Some of it was shot on film, some of it's shot digitally. There's all different quality, like film quality and picture quality throughout. It changes throughout, on and off. Some of it looked like stock footage, like old footage they've got out of a library just to fill up the scenes where they didn't have any suitable footage to use. They used some stock footage and stuff, like older footage, because you could tell by the grain and everything, the quality of the image, it was much worse and stuff on them scenes. But anyway, it's this one. It's called Polar Bears 3D, The Ice Bear. And it's only on 50 minutes, but there's a 10-minute deleted scene, or deleted scenes, also in 3D, which I haven't watched them scenes yet. And there's also a behind-the-scenes documentary as well, which lasts about 13 minutes. And there's a lot of good footage of the bears. There's some sad scenes as well where there's one bear in particular attacks a group of walruses on some rocks, and he gets hold of a baby walrus and he kills him. He shakes him all over the place and everything, and grabs him and jumps back in the ocean with him and has him for his dinner, basically. That was a sad scene, I'll tell you that much. And also the 3D on this is good in places, but some of the scenes look like they were shot in 2D and they were just converted really shoddily converted just to try and fit in with the rest of the proper 3D footage. They do that a lot in a lot of these documentaries, I've noticed. Some scenes, like I say, seem to be shot 2D, and then they just put them through a computer program or something, so it looks like they just set the whole image back a bit into the, so it looks like it goes in on your TV, just sets it in, a bit of depth to it, but it hasn't got depth on different planes, if you know what I mean. Different, like say there's some trees here or an iceberg there and something in the background. Is not different layers of depth. It's just one depth. It just goes in so far, then it stops. That's not very good, that, but what can you do, eh? It's just the way it was made, I suppose. Anyway, I don't know what they were thinking, but it's a pretty good documentary. If you like polar bears, or you just like bears in general, or wildlife documentaries, you should get something out of this one. It's pretty good. It's not a David Attenborough documentary. It's an American made documentary. And this is also on the Universal label. And it's got the Universal logo on the start in 3D as well. So here's the back cover for this one. And it's also got, well, it's just some information about how you play the 3D, what you need to play the 3D disc on the back there on that yellow strip. But it's not a bad back cover, some decent pictures there of the bear and everything. So anyway, that's Polar Bears 3D. Next one I've got here, I watched this one last night as well, and I thought it was very good for the most part. And this one's called Wildlife 3D. There's a nice photo of a white horse there in the mist. It's a nice photograph, I think, anyway. And unusually, on the menu of this disc, it's actually called Nature 3D, not Wildlife. So it's strange that on the cover it says Wildlife, and on the disc and the trailer it says it's called Nature as well. So anyway, this was very good. I particularly liked the footage of some birds. It showed you little birds like robins and thrushes and other types of birds that I don't know the names of. There was, I think it was possibly a woodpecker or something similar, and some other little cute birds, you know. And they were like, it showed you them taking baths in obviously in water, but like little ponds and rivers and things like that. It was really well shot, and the 3D looked great on them scenes. The birds really looked like they were like actually alive in your living room, you know, like getting a wash. Obviously not in your living room because they're out in the wilderness, but it looked like they were actually there in front of you, like for real, you know. But there was a few scenes that were a bit blurry for some reason, like especially the fast moving shots of animals running and stuff, like horses and stuff. But it was still very nicely shot. There's a lot of really good looking scenery shots and stuff of trees and flowers and all that sort of stuff. There was some scenes of close-ups of flowers which I got a little bit bored during them scenes, but for the most part the documentary was very interesting, and the 3D was great throughout. The 3D was really good all the way through. Very colourful as well, and lots of there was lots of scenes where there wasn't so many animals on display, but there was also plenty of scenes further on into the documentary. It's not really it's a documentary, but it's got like a voiceover of someone reading poems. It's not someone narrating like what's happening with the animals on the screen. So but it was still very entertaining and quite relaxing to watch as well. It wasn't like fast paced, lots of fast moving scenes and stuff. A few shots of animals, horses running through fields and stuff, but it was all quite relaxing, you know. So I'd highly recommend this one if you like your animals and 3D and everything. And this one's got a very nice back cover in my opinion. Lots of well positioned photographs, and just looks very nice looking, you know, the colourful photographs and everything. So I recommend this one. You can pick this up for about just over £3 on Amazon. It's a bargain price. It says it's got the 2D version included, but when you put the disc in, there's no option to play a 2D version. So what I'm thinking is, maybe if you put it in a Blu-ray player that doesn't have 3D, maybe it automatically just starts playing a 2D version. But if you put in a 3D machine on a 3D television, it automatically jumps to playing it in 3D. You kind of choose the option, if you know what I mean. I think that's what it must be anyway, because I can't find the other version on the disc anyway. So that's Wildlife 3D. Highly recommended. The next one is a Blu-ray documentary that's narrated by Sir David Attenborough. If you're not familiar with him, he did lots of wildlife documentaries, mainly on the BBC over the years, and he still does them. And this one was made for Sky Television, or made by Sky Television. And this one's called The Penguin King 3D. Now I watched this one as well, and this one was very good as well. The 3D was pretty good for the most part. There was some really exceptional standout scenes, but I have seen better 3D than this. But the documentary was very interesting and very funny in places as well, and a bit sad as well, obviously, when you know, things like the penguins get killed and stuff. There was some footage of these birds, I forget, petrel birds I think they were called, something like that. They got the little young penguins, some of the penguins, and they grabbed a hold of them and started ripping them to shreds. It was terrible, but I guess that's what has to happen in nature, because there are lots of other animals need to eat as well. So that's what happens sometimes, unfortunately. Poor little cute penguins getting murdered by these birds, you know. And it showed you them like ripping into them and pulling them apart. It was pretty graphic way, to be honest. But apart from that, there was some funny scenes as well, because it's about this lone penguin who has to find a mate and then have a little chick and stuff, and it follows him on his journey trying to find a woman, and you know, the trials and errors and stuff, trying to you know, bring up their young chick, and well, before that they have to keep the eggs safe and warm and everything, and get food and everything to stay alive basically, and feed the chick later on as well, you know. And it shows you the penguins as they're growing up and how they're losing their, like, that brown fur starts to come off, and they've got the proper like black and white colours underneath with the bird yellow on their heads and stuff starts to appear. It's very interesting though. Very good documentary. I highly recommend this one as well. This one was about this one was only £2.75 on eBay actually. So if you're interested in this one, if you look around on eBay, you can probably find it for between £3 and a fiver or less if you're lucky. So here's the back cover for this one. Some nice photographs of Penguin City, as David Attenborough calls it in the documentary, because there's so many penguins. I think there's more penguins at this place than there is anywhere in the world. There's absolutely thousands of them, just crowds and crowds of penguins everywhere. It's bigger than the crowds coming out of a football match, you know, way bigger. So anyway, that's The Penguin King in 3D. Now I've just got one more to show you here, and I got this one, I think it was last week, and I have watched this one as well, and the 3D was excellent on this one. There was a few scenes, like I mentioned on the other title I showed you earlier, that are actually appear to be shot in 2D, and they've sort of roughly converted it to match up with the rest of the footage. And those scenes stand out. You can tell that you're thinking, well, that doesn't look very 3D. But for the most part, everything else, for the most part, is in proper, real 3D. And everything's got real depth and just looks amazing for the most part, you know, very colourful, very well shot, very sharp photography on this one. And this one features a guy called Hunter Ellis. He's the presenter and narrator. I think he's the narrator. I must point out, well, here it is anyway. It's called Safari 3D. And as you can see, there's a couple of elephants on the front. That was my main reason for buying this one, because of the elephants. I like elephants. And unfortunately though, this is the French version and there isn't an English soundtrack on it. Now, you might think I'm crazy for buying this, but I thought, well, it was only £2.50. And I thought, well, I might not be to understand what they're saying, but I'll still be to appreciate the 3D photography and stuff. So I thought I'd try it, but having said that, it did look great and everything. I still enjoyed watching the visuals and the animals and everything. But the French narrator, you heard little bits of the English dialogue coming through when the presenter was on the screen, but that was soon cut off by the French guy butting in over the top of it, like I thought, I can't do French, but you know, I thought whatever. Anyway, it was lots of that, and basically that was very off-putting. I had to turn the sound down a bit. So I've since ordered the UK English version from Music Magpie, so I'll put that on and watch that in English finally when it turns up. So it should be a lot better in English, I think. So anyway, that's Safari 3D, and here's the back cover. Pretty good back cover. Some nice pictures across the top here, some information about it and everything, the usual stuff, you know. And as far as I'm aware, this I think it has, I'm not sure if it has a 2D version. I haven't really checked. I think it has got a 2D version actually. You just select it on the menu which one you want to watch, 2D or 3D. They're both on the same disc, you see. So and there's lots of animals in this Blu-ray. There's elephants, giraffes, lions, I think tigers, buffalo. I must point out there's some shots of lions eating like deers and stuff, and buffalo and what have you. Doesn't actually show you them catching them and ripping them to shreds, but it does show you them eating them, which is just as bad in my opinion. I don't like seeing animals ripped open and all that guts hanging out and ribs and everything. I like to see them as they are, alive and well and everything. But I guess that's the case with these documentaries, you know. That's the way of nature. Other animals have to kill stuff to live, to eat. They have to eat to live and all that. So unfortunately, that's the way it has to be. But I don't know whether they have to show it. I suppose they do, but it's a bit off-putting, especially for people like me. I don't like watching operations on television. I can't stand to watch an operation on television. If I turn the TV over and there's an operation on, it's straight off, I can tell you. Anyway, so I highly recommend this one. It's an excellent 3D, very good photography, like I said. Very crystal clear looking for the most part. So that's Safari 3D. And I'm not sure what label this is on, to be honest. Oh, it's Warner Brothers. I didn't know it was Warner Brothers actually. It didn't come on the screen as Warner Brothers when I put it on. But there's a Warner Brothers logo on the back. It says Kobo. Say that Koba. I think it's Koba Films or something. But it also mentions Warner Brothers. That's strange. Anyway, that's everything for now. So I'd just like to thank everyone for watching this video. And don't forget to subscribe if you're new to my channel. And don't forget to hit the notification bell if you want to be updated when I upload new videos. And don't forget to comment if you've got anything to say. I answer all my comments, so rest assured you don't have to wait around forever. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. So thanks very much for everyone for watching this video, and I shall catch you all on the next one. So bye for now and take care. See you later. Ta-ra.